So if you're running ads but you're not seeing the conversion rates that you want, so you're throwing money at the ad spend but you're not converting strangers into customers, that might be not a problem with your actual ads because you might be getting the click. It's what happens post click after somebody clicks on your ad. So that's what we're going to be talking about today in the video. I'm going to be showing you three ideas, three concepts to be thinking about in terms of your customer journey and what you need to be paying attention to. If you're new here, my name is Gabriel Laurent, and I help small to medium-sized service-based businesses craft better messages to the right customers at the right time. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So as you can see, here's how you 10x your landing page conversions without spending more on ads. Now, rule of thumb thinking, there's three ideas here. Goals drive attention. Consumers only notice ads that signal a high goal value and don't make the customers think. And these are the three things you should be paying attention to when you're advertising, because this matters much when it comes to converting a stranger into a paying customer. So the first one, goals drive attention. And this is something we need to understand. So when we are advertising, remember, people online are exposed to at least 4,000 ads per day, if not more. So they only pay attention to certain ads or certain messaging that aligns with whatever goal they're trying to achieve in that exact moment. Because when people don't buy stuff, they hire service and products to help them achieve whatever goal, whatever desired outcome they want. So it's the messaging that signal the highest goal value or signals to them that they have the highest potential of achieving a certain outcome will be the ad or the business that gets paid attention to. So if you're vague in your messaging or you're not specific, you will get ignored. And that's also why a lot of businesses, they spend so much on ad spend and they don't get any results because they're not being specific and they're not actually, their messaging is not relevant in terms of in what context they're talking to their customers in. So remember that goals are what drive the attention of people, and think of goals as the circuit from where the customer's brain filters out signals from the outside. So when we're seeing all of these ads, well, whether it's 4,000 or 5,000, depending on the goal that we have inside of our brain, is how we're going to filter out what's relevant to us and what's not relevant. So that is why your messaging has to have relevance and it has to have context. Because let's take this for example. Let's say we had a couple who, they enjoy surfing. They had a Mercedes convertible and they used to go surfing every day on the beach. And let's say you sold Volvo you're a car dealership that sells Volvo cars. Everyone knows Volvo cars is what parents buy because it's marketed as a very safe car. So if you was trying to sell that Volvo car to that couple who likes to go surfing, it wouldn't work because the context in terms of, or the relevance doesn't align with them. They're not looking to buy a car to be safe. But let's say fast forward 2 years down the line and they are now parents. Now their goals have changed from excitement to rather being parents and being safe and want to create security for their family. So now your messaging of, hey, we sell Volvo cars for parents who wants to drive safe on the road or who wants a vehicle that's all about safety. Now that see how your messaging is now relevant and it's in the right context. So that's what I mean by relevance and context when it comes to your customer. And that's why I say the goals that people have in the immediate goals even is what drives their attention. So if you're selling something that doesn't align with the goal they're trying to achieve in this exact moment, you're just going to get ignored. Right. So now the second one is similar to the first thing with consumers only notice ads that signal a high goal value. So let me show you something. Let's say, for example, so here's what we call a trigger event, because if we think about it, people don't actually buy stuff unless there's circumstances of changes. Just like the couple, they're not going to buy a Volvo car unless circumstance change, where they went from being single people, or being in a relationship, to then being, for example, married, and then they're expecting a child. So the expectance of the child is the trigger event for them to wanting to purchase a Volvo car. Now, when we think about it like this, let's say, for example, Sarah, she's been talking to this guy, not talking, she's been in the gym, and there's a guy that she really likes, and they really look at each other, but nobody says anything, and then they finally spoke, and he sees her smile, but Sarah has always been self-conscious about her teeth, and then she smiled, and then he saw that her teeth was not the whitest, and instantly he sort of, based on his demeanor, he lost interest. That didn't make Sarah feel good about herself, so she's now looking for teeth whitening. So Sarah now goes to Google, right? I remember what I said. Our goals drive our attention, and consumers only notice ads that signal a high goal value. So Sarah wants teeth whitening. So Sarah is going to go into Google, and she's going to type in teeth whitening near me, right? Now, let's look at all these things. So you see, she's looking. Sarah's looking. She's scrolling. And one of the things we need to understand, and it's the third point I'm going to make, don't make your customer have to think, because the way our decision making is set up is that we will always choose the path of least resistance, and we don't want to think. We don't want to scale through pages of different business. We want to see messaging that aligns with the actual goal that we're trying to achieve. So Sarah wants teeth whitening, but nowhere here can she see it. So it's just a bit like she's clicking on these. For example, let's click into a few of these. Teeth whitening, book online, learn more. Okay, not bad, but there's still certain things that could be improved here. So let's go back out. So, and you, as a business, you don't live in a vacuum, so you're gonna have competitors. So Sarah's going through, she's clicking, allow all, she's seeing all of these things. She's not after teeth alignment, so that goes out the window. She looks at this one, dental practice open 7 days a week. It says nothing about the goal Sarah's trying to achieve here. So let's look at teeth whitening. Let's look at another third option. I know we already saw this one. Let's look at, and the reason why I'm doing it like this is just, this is exactly how people, just imagine how a customer will be going through if they're looking for a business to help them solve a problem. So that's why I'm doing it like this. So it might look like I'm not prepared, but I'm showing you the journey a customer potentially going to go through. Try on a new smile, learn about Invisalign. She's not after Invisalign, she wants her teeth whitened. Now, do you see, when in terms of none of these messaging is aligning with the actual goal that Sarah has at the moment in terms of, and the context. She wants her teeth whitened. She doesn't want teeth alignment or none of that stuff that we're seeing here. So none of these are providing the right message at the right time to Sarah. So she might click off, and that's how a lot of businesses lose customers or don't convert, because it's like their messaging is not to the point. It's not specific. It's not relevant. Now, I done a mock-up example of what I mean by relevance and aligning your messaging with the goal that the consumer or the customer has in that moment, a moment in time. So let's look at this mock-up that I done. So this is not the real deal. This is just a mock-up I done. So So here it is. So look. So it says, get whiter. Oh my days. What a blunder. Missed the teeth bit. Let me take out that. Hold on. Forgive me. So, in. So, get whiter teeth in 7 days with proprietary EHB formula, and then you'll have the price $2.99. Okay. So Primal Dental, don't worry about that. That's just a random name I chose. Okay. So it says get whiter teeth in 7 days with proprietary EHB formula. Book your free consultation and get free dental checkup and cleaning plus bonus gift home maintenance kit worth £150. Results guaranteed or your money back. And then you have the 500 plus Trustpilot 5-star reviews. So here you have the offer. So she knows what she's getting. Does it align with her goal of getting whiter teeth? It does. How long will it take? 7 days. So you see how we're answering the question that Sarah might have immediately. And then it says with proprietary EHB formula. So this is sort of especially when you're in a saturated market, it's important to have a proprietary or a new mechanism. And it's basically the way you help them get the results that you want. Like what system or what formula or what unique way of you doing a thing that gets the customer or gets Sarah her desired result. So it's like, oh, EHB formula, that sounds interesting. I don't know what it is, but that will make Sarah curious. So, and then you have the price, which is $2.99. So she knows instantly, okay, can I afford this or can I not? And they done studies, the more a message aligns or the more a message signals to a customer that you can get them their desired outcome or their desired goal, the more they're willing to pay. Okay, so and then she looks and she sees the free consultation, and then she also gets a free dental checkup and cleaning plus bonus gift. That's going to make the offer even much more attractive. So do we think Sarah's going to click? Of course she's going to click. And then she sees the results guaranteed or your money back. So you take away the risk. She doesn't have anything to lose here. And then she sees the social proof, which is 500 plus Trustpilot 5-star reviews. Now, as I said, guys, this is not perfect, but it's more so about the relevance of the messaging. And it's like, as I said, going back to this, goals drive our attention. So, and then the consumers only notice ads that signal a high goal value and don't make the customers think, because people are busy. People don't want to think. People want to be clicking and trying to find out where they should go. Okay. So this is what I mean by not making the customers think. So like Sarah knows the price. She knows how long it's going to take. She knows there's a guarantee there if she doesn't get any results, and there's also social proof there. So this is doing a lot in terms of answering questions. And when you compare this ad to what we see here, which one do you think Sarah is going to pick? She's going to pick the obviously I'm not being biased, but I'm just showing you the relevance. Its relevance and context is important for your messaging. So let's look at, for example, so after we get the click, so Sarah's seeing my ad and she's say, okay, this is interesting, I'm gonna click. So let's pause for a moment and go back. The reason why I say don't make the customer think, let's click on something like this, for example. So let's say Sarah clicked on this. The way our brain is set up, as I said, your customer, the consumer doesn't want to be thinking. And when you have too much things going on the page, it drags away from the attention of what actually needs to happen. So what a lot of businesses do, especially as you can see here, they run ads, but when people click it, they take the customer to their web page or their homepage on their website, which is what you shouldn't absolutely not do, because when you do that, you're basically wasting your money, because people are going to click on, they're not going to see the actual what they want to do, book a consultation and whatnot. At least this one is not as bad, because at least it's a little bit more specific. You have like for this example, this is not doing anything for Sarah because it's like your friendly local dentist. She don't care. That's one thing we need to understand as well. Customers do not care about if you're the best or whatnot. They care if you can help them achieve their goals. So one thing, a rule, a principle to never go against, when you're running ads, you need to run ads to a landing page, which is a separate page away from your homepage. Because when you do, this is how you lose customers, because there's just too much going on. Because look at how quick I came on, and by I've not been on their page for that long, and I've been inundated with all of these things, and it's just dragging away from the attention. Now, take for example, if Sarah was to click on this and then it takes her to this. Now, apologies, this is in Framer. So I've just done a quick mock-up in Framer, and this is not like the best fun. I'm still figuring out how to design, but I'm focusing more so on the message, because as the saying says, form follows function. It's not about the aesthetic, it's about the messaging, right? So imagine Sarah clicks on the ad that I've made, and it takes her to a dedicated landing page, not your homepage, a separate designated landing page with one offer and one call to action. And also, what do you notice? Do you notice that the message alignment is congruent to what got the click? So the same thing you see here is what got the click here. So the relevance stays the same. This is what throw people off, or this is why your page doesn't convert, your landing page doesn't convert. When, for example, people click on say for example, Sarah was to click here and then it took her to this, it's like the message alignment or the congruency of the message that got the click is totally changed. Whereas when she clicks on this and then it takes her to this page, the message is still the same. So you're keeping Sarah focused. So there's obviously you have the name of the business and then the phone number. So you see there's not too much going on here, or everything is directed to getting Sarah to act. So it says, want to transform your smile? Yes, that's what Sarah wants. And it says, get whiter teeth in just 7 days with proprietary EHB formula. And then you have like the objection handlers. And this might not be the things that Sarah's worried about, but I just done this as an example. You can find out what people objections are by obviously doing the research. So he says, new smile in just 2 visits, because people are busy. They might be thinking, well, how many visits will I have to make before I can get the results that I want? Is it going to be is it going to be painful? So he says it's a painless experience. And then if people worry about their enamel, which is valid, he says no enamel damage. And then also you reiterate the message that got the click: free dental checkup and cleaning plus bonus home maintenance kit worth 150 bonus. Hold on, missed out there. Missed gift. So the reason I put gift there is that she knows it's free and it's not they're not going to be charging her extra for that. Then a call to action. What I like to say is I like to call it call to value, because the call to action is centered around this desired outcome. That's why I put, yes, upgrade my smile, rather than saying book a consultation or book now or whatnot. It's geared towards the actual outcome that she wants. And then the results guarantee all your money back. Then the social proof element, 500 plus 5-star Trustpilot reviews. And as I said, guys, this is not perfect, but I just wanted to show you how you can have message alignment and have the right message that signals a high goal value that's conducive to the outcome the customer wants. And then you have the visual element, so Sarah can see the results that you've gotten for past clients, and you see it's like very natural, and it's something that she can see and visualize herself getting the exact results. And we're not going to go any further in terms of in the landing page, because this is what we call the above the fold. So when Sarah clicks, this is what she would see first. Obviously, you would look a bit different on a phone, because I'm on a laptop at the moment, so the layout's going to be different. But the above the fold is the most important part because it needs to have all the information that can grab Sarah's attention and potentially get her to just click and take action. Because, as I said, our customers don't want to think. So the more your messaging aligns and the more relevant it is in the right context, the easier it's going to be for you to convert these people, because it has all the elements that get people to just make quick decisions, and that's what people want to do. People don't want to think. So going back to our rule of thumb thinking when we're advertising, first one, goals drive retention. So you have to think that the only time people will pay attention to your ads is if it aligns with the goals that they're trying to achieve. And consumers only notice ads that signal a high goal value. So that's why your messaging needs to be relevant and in the right context. Hence why my tagline is craft the right message to the right customer at the right time. And also, don't make your customers think, because people are busy. In terms of their brain capacity, they can only process so much. So the easier, you simpler, the more specific, the more relevant you make your messaging, the easier it's going to be for you to convert people into paying customers. Because when people have a problem, like for example, Sarah, that's a really um what would we call it, a dark moment for her, when she, a guy that she likes kind of ghost her because she smiled and he saw her teeth and it wasn't white or they were yellow. So she's gonna want to get her teeth whitened. She's gonna fix that problem. So the more specific, the more relevant, the more you can signal that you can get her the results. You're gonna be the business that takes her money or gets her her business. So remember the three takeaways here with the rule of thumb thinking: goals drive attention, consumers only notice ads that signal a high goal value, and don't make your customers think. Like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know anything that you're unsure of. If you're a small to medium-sized service-based business who wants help with your messaging or your landing page to improve your conversions, drop me an email and I'll be sure to get to you. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.